Hello friends and welcome to my baking show where I will be making runebergin tortut, which later in this video I will tell you more about why I made them, why we eat them, what they're for. Anyway, this is the recipe that I kind of went off of. I changed it up a little bit, but I started out with some butter and sugar. Specifically, I did 150 grams of butter, which is about 5.3 ounces. And 1.5 deciliters or 0.6 cups of sugar. To mix them up, I did use a hand mixer just to make it easier on myself. I did not film that part, so this is kind of what it looks like, the stuff in the bowl after you have mixed them up. You just want them to look nice and even. Next up, you're gonna need 2 eggs. You just want to crack them, add them into that butter sugar mix, and then mix it up. Then you add in the second egg, and again you just want to mix it evenly. After that's done, I just kind of put it aside for now, and then measured applesauce. In this recipe, you don't have to use applesauce. You could do cream or apple juice instead, but I like applesauce, so I had it laying around. So I did about 1 deciliter or 0.4 cups of applesauce. In my cup measure, there actually are like ounces, milliliters, cups, all of those measurements, and I think one more measurement, I don't know, on the side, all around it. So I just kind of looked at the milliliters. It's actually really useful. Anyway, once that is done, you also want to put that aside for now. So it's just kind of chilling there, ready for you. Next up, we're going to move on to the gingerbread crumbs. Again, you don't have to use gingerbread crumbs. You could do, well, actually you kind of have to, because, yeah, I don't know if they have korppujauhot in this country, period. I don't know, man. But I had gingerbread cookies left over from Christmas, so I decided to kind of crush some of those and used that for the recipe. At this point, I remembered that I had not turned on the oven, so about 390 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 200 Celsius. Yeah, turn on that oven before you start baking. Or while you're baking, yeah, you're gonna need it. Okay, after they're kind of crushed enough, again, I put them aside. Then I moved on to the flour. So I grabbed a new bowl and I added in about 1.5 deciliters or 0.6 cups of flour, just regular flour. Don't know the brand. And that is when I decided to measure the gingerbread crumbs. I did about 1.5 deciliters or 0.6 cups. And it turned out that I had right around the perfect amount. Would you look at that? I do something right sometimes. But before I add that into anything, I did decide to measure the baking powder. So the baking powder goes into that flour. So you want to do right around 1 teaspoon of that, and then you want to mix it up. Mix it even. And after that, you want to add the gingerbread crumbs in. Well, honestly, I don't think it really matters if you do gingerbread crumbs or baking powder first, but anyway, you want to add those into the flour. So as you can see, we kind of have the dry ingredients separate from the non-dry ingredients, which at this point you want to add the applesauce into the non-dry ingredients, and then you want to mix that up. You definitely could have added it in there earlier as you measured it, but I don't know, man. This is just what I did, I guess. Again, you want to mix up. Baking's a lot of mixing. And then next you want to add the dry ingredients into the non-dry ingredients. So the easiest thing to do is just add a little bit of the dry ingredients and then mix and then add some more, and then you mix again, and then you add the rest and mix it. I then did bitter almond flavoring. This is from some European store or market. I don't know actually. But as you can see here, I was struggling a lot. Nothing would come out. Not a drop of it. Here's me confused. Yeah, I had to get my mom to help me. She figured it out. Anyway, I think we did about 3 drops of it, and then again mixed very, very well. That was a struggle for absolutely no reason. I don't know. And that is it. Just kidding, but this is when you want to scoop them up and put them into a muffin pan or something of the sorts. I put them about 3/4 full because, you know, they're gonna rise up in the oven anyway. And then I wanted to do a cool time lapse where you could see as they rise up and, you know, bake. And did not realize that the black grid would be kind of making it difficult to see. But anyway, looked kind of cool, I guess. You know, A+ for trying for me. And here is me flattening them up because they're supposed to be flat. Oh yeah, okay, this is really cool. See, the one on the right is my cookbook. One on the left is my mom's. It is the same one, just updated throughout the years. My mom's is from the 80s. Mine is from 2015, I believe. So you just want to dump out the pastries while they're still warm. They come out very easy, at least from the pans that I used. Wow. Next up is the decorations, or quote unquote decorations. But I made some icing from powdered sugar and just a little bit of water. So you mix it up until it becomes like a icing kind of consistency. And then we decorate. So you want to start with the raspberry jam. You don't have to. I like to start out with the raspberry jam. But before I did that, I actually kind of pressed down these holes onto each of the pastries, and then I added raspberry jam into that hole. Here's me doing it. Anyway, but while you watch me do that, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about runebergin tortut and why we eat them. So runebergin tortut are named after Johann Ludwig Runeberg, who was a poet and a priest, which I don't think the latter is really relevant to this at all. But anyway, he is considered a national poet of Finland, and we celebrate him on his birthday, which is February 5th. And the story goes that he apparently enjoyed a pastry, one of these pastries, and punssi, which is liquor, for breakfast every morning. So leading up to his birthday in January and beginning of February, these pastries are widely available in stores, cafes, coffee shops, etc. So the decorating is basically finished up with the powdered sugar plus water icing. You want to make a ring around the jam, and as you can see, it's kind of difficult. I tried my best, but yeah, I messed up a lot. But you know, at least I got a couple that looked somewhat decent. But yeah, it's not super easy. It needs practice, and I clearly have not had enough practice over the years. And this is what the end result looked like. Yay, good job, me. So I packed up some of the pretty ones. For some family friends, I put them into this box that apparently is supposed to be for pencils, but that just doesn't sit right with me. Pencils are supposed to be in a pouch. So my family uses it for like food and whatnot. Anyway, they turned out really, really good, and I ate honestly way too many. I actually ended up baking something else a couple weeks after. So now I am on official break from baking, period. I'm not baking anything for a little while because I'm trying to eat less pastries and that sort of good stuff. But anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new about Finnish culture while you were here. And I will see you next time. Bye!